So he has roots in this community. He was a native of the Republic of Cuba. He got on a boat and left Cuba to come to the United States. He was picked up in the Caribbean Sea by the Coast Guard, taken to Guantanamo, asked for asylum, became a resident alien, and applied for citizenship, and has become a citizen. And so he has demonstrated a desire to be a resident of Middle Georgia. The issue in this case, we're talking to Mr. Daniel, is the issue of whether he would be a flight risk or not. The warrants that were signed on March the 7th, 2013, before that day, his wife's father passed away. His wife did not have a passport. Mr. Bravo did. The father's funeral was in Nicaragua, so Mr. Bravo traveled to Nicaragua prior to the time that these warrants were taken out. He would not have known that there was a criminal charge against him when he left to go to Nicaragua. Mr. Bravo was a minister when he was in Nicaragua for his father's funeral, preside over that. He was requested to establish a church there, and a church established in Nicaragua, and then the same was true in El Salvador. He voluntarily returned to Georgia to face these charges and was taken into custody on May the 4th after he voluntarily returned. He has of course, he had a passport in order to leave the country and return to the country. That passport is with his inventory of his personal effects that the sheriff is holding here, and he would be, of course, be happy to surrender his passport. This is an unindicted case, Your Honor. With the victim, alleged victim being in Indiana, I do not know how quickly the state is going to try to present this to the grand jury or not. We think it would be appropriate, Your Honor, to grant a bond. As to the underlying charges, I'll state to Your Honor that the incident report alleges that these offenses occurred in the presence of his own children. And so I have some degree of concern about whether or not these charges, I think there's some issue as to whether or not the statements by the victim are credible or not. And so we think it would be appropriate, Your Honor, to send a reasonable bond.
I think there's some significant credibility to the case on the basis of the time of the reporting. Unfortunately, at this point, it's very early on. It just got assigned to Dorothy Hall on May 15th. The incident was reported on February 23rd of 2013. The incident 2013. Now, what happened was, the reason why we're just now getting the case is we really didn't know we would ever get this defendant. So he just returned apparently from Nicaragua or South Salvador, and so he had left the country shortly before the warrants were issued in this case. I suspect, and this is speculation, but that at some point he caught wind of that. He went over and he flew out of the country, and he has not returned.
The warrants actually were signed in March of 2013.
March 7th, 2013.
So the incident was reported on February 23rd of 2013. So he just came back into the country. He was arrested in the Atlanta airport, and so we have him here, now arrested. But I don't have a whole lot of information other than an incident report that I shared.
Well, I don't think I need all the information. The underlying facts of the case are not as relevant to bond as the factors of flight, intimidation,
yes,
and so forth. I can't, under these circumstances, Mr. Geeter, I can't say that he's not a flight risk. He walked out for 2 years in another country, other countries for 2 years. So I'm going to deny bond at this point. If it doesn't move, bring it back to me. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Judge.